have Good Morning America coming up, which is a huge deal for us because our last live television performance was Miss America. So hopefully we're going to redeem ourselves on national television.
As in any project, in any company, when you have a lot of things going on, communication is the most important thing. And it sounds to me like there was a communication breakdown. The boys were stuck and inconvenienced, and I think that those situations never should be repeated again, and I don't think it was anybody's intention to inconvenience anybody.
The thing that bothers us the most is that we don't really feel like we were informed with enough time or from the right people that January 3rd was the cutoff date.
We spoke to you that day and said, come on up, let's have a meeting, we'll sort it all out. Not a big deal. And more time just dragged on. And I said, look, this is ridiculous. Tell me what it is that we need to fix, and we'll address it. And then again, we didn't hear from anybody for, for a couple of days, and it just lagged on until now.
Gentlemen, you gonna do the bridge again? Sing it for me?
When I look into your eyes.
Okay, cool. What you singing?
When I look into your eyes.
Not like that, though.
When I look into your eyes.
There's a lot of bad business going on right now, and it's so hard for us to focus.
You gotta remember your note, man. You gotta remember your note, man.
We're all a little bit anxious to find out what's going on.
Communication was very difficult the whole time, and it didn't have to be. We reached out quite a few times prior to find out what was going on with actual management, and it was pretty secretive. It was kind of kept pretty quiet at the time.
We stepped up to the plate and took an aggressive stance in order to emphasize how we felt. We're really talking about a few $1,000s here. There's nobody in this room that would take this project and put it into a tailspin.
Well, cutting the funds off, making Lou look bad is something that chairman should know about. Which route do you take it? Was it a vindictive thing or was it incompetent? I'm just saying. I mean, communication.
What you're just saying is you're looking at it from a perspective of how do I agitate the situation?
Right,
how do I place this in the worst possible...
Let's move on. Let's work on to a
I think we're trying to move on, but for whatever reason, if this is your approach with the group, I'm personally going to suggest you take a different approach because your artists are going to look for you to guide them, I think, in a positive light and try to make sense out of a situation instead of chaos. I think it's naive for you to attempt to just throw the entire sort of responsibility onto the furnishing company without taking some responsibility yourself. If I'm willing to step up to the plate and take it on the chin and say, you know what, okay, we took an aggressive move, it wasn't perfect, we made a mistake. I'm willing to say that. But I'm not going to sit here and look at you as the manager of that group and say that you are without responsibility as well, because you are.
5, 6, 7, 8. Whole town. Yeah. Coming at you. Okay, that's better.
I don't want to believe that everyone is out there with a hidden agenda. I just want to make sure that everything gets set up right.
Okay, so we just got done with our meeting with Transcon. Technically, it just comes down to a power play. I think they just wanted to take a crap in our hat and see if we'd wear it. So it was bad, and it was a foolish thing to do, and I still don't completely understand where they were coming from.
They screwed up. They realized it. They didn't take the approach of apologizing for it, but they wanted to move on, and were like, whatever.
Are there any hard feelings towards us?
No, towards you guys. No.
Mostly
What about
directed
towards you
me.
guys?
Mostly directed towards me.
It's difficult when we get pulled into the Transcon saga, and we have to not only focus on trying to do our job, which is, being on Good Morning America, and that should be our main focus, and we shouldn't have anything to do with the business transactions. For me, I don't like thinking about that kind of thing. That's why we have Mike and Mike. That's why they do what they do. That's why they manage the group, is because if we were to try to think about all that kind of stuff, we would worry ourselves sick.
So if Lou comes around, should we just pretend like it never happened, or should we bring it up? Or
Well, that's the other thing that came about. I mean, always play the cool guy. We're the bad guys. You guys are always nice. We talked about if they're going to come visit for any reason, they have to notify Mike or I in advance that they're coming.
I want to talk to Lou directly. I want to be able to talk with him personally and not feel like I misunderstood anything. I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. I want to talk to Lou.
You guys have any questions?
I want to know why the actions were taken.
Why would they make a decision to lash out at you two if it directly affected us?
When I heard about what happened, I was very upset.